What's up, everybody? This is Greg from the Lion's Den Mastering, and today we're going to be doing a plugin review on Matthew W. Lane's Dr. MS. Now, this is my first plugin review, so I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you do like and subscribe because I'm going to have more of these. Let's jump in. Let's talk about this plugin. MatthewWLane.com. You can get this. It's called Dr. MS Spatial Processor, and it's 119 pounds. It's like 130 bucks or so, US dollars. Or I've got the subscription, which is $4.99 a month, and I like doing this subscription to where I can run with it for a year, and then if I really want to buy it, then I can buy it after that. So that's real cool. So let's go ahead, let's jump into this plugin and take a look at its features, and then we'll run some sound through it and check it out. All right. So I've got the plugin up here. Now, what we have is we've got four units. We've got the mid, the side, the focus, and the field. All these are controlled by the button in, and when you turn it off and on, that kind of bypasses these sections. So now the mid, it controls just the mid info only of a sound that's being ran through it. The side controls only the stereo image, only the left and the right. It doesn't control anything in the mid signal. And then when you play those two together, obviously, it's the neutral sound. It's just the sound with its mid information and its side. So by default, both of these are set to in. Then we have the trickery that comes into this plugin, the stuff that I love, which is the focus section, which adds extra stereo information based off the mid signal. So it's kind of cool because it adds some stereo processing to the sound that already has the mid and the side info. You then over here have the field, which adds, what it does is it takes the signal, the stereo information, and it centers it. It centers it more towards the mid, kind of pushes it forward in the mix. This kind of helps with depth and creating like a 3D image effect. So it takes the stereo information, and what it does is it makes it into like a mid signal without collapsing the stereo field completely, and then it kind of pushes it forward. I really, really like both of these because they really help. Now, with each one of these four things we've got going on here, you've got a frequency range, basically like a band on what you want to affect. So I can control low end. Now, keep in mind, these are the high pass filter, low pass filters. They'll cut out low end. So if you're on your mid signal and you have some bass content in there and you start rolling this off, it's going to roll off the bass as well. So these are very helpful because you can really kind of pinpoint where you want to add certain stereo imaging, and we'll go over that as we feed some sound through this. So you also have solo buttons where you can solo the mid, the side, the focus, the field, and you have an invert phase if you want to invert phase. The trickery comes here with the delay too, because it adds a stereo delay to it. But what I like about it is it doesn't sound so much like it's leaning to one side, something like what a Haas effect would do. It kind of like helps disperse it evenly across. It's very, very clean stereo imaging. So I think the only thing I don't like about this plugin, and it's not that I don't like this plugin, the only thing I don't like is that they don't have a correlation meter on here. Now, they do have a visual here. It's an oscilloscope or whatever it's called, where you can see the signal. And a straight line would be the mid information, a flat line would be the side information only, and then obviously when they're played together, it creates like a cloud. So you can kind of judge how much stereo you're making by that, but I like a correlation meter just so I know when things are starting to phase really bad. Okay, enough talking. Let's feed some stuff through this. What I'm going to do is I've got some loops here from a new sample pack I've created for Black Octopus Sound. We've got a bass loop with a little bit less imaging, so it's more mono. So we'll work to create some stereo imaging. And then I've got a pad loop here that is already pretty wide. It's not phasing, but it's already pretty wide. And we'll try to bring some depth into that one. So let's take a listen here and run. Okay, very cool. So you can kind of see how it can make things wider, and it doesn't make it sound too much like it's leaning towards one side, which is a thing I hate when it comes to plugins that do stereo imaging. I really like things that disperse the stereo image nice and evenly. Kind of sounds, you can get things to sound a little bit more 3D when you have stuff like that. Okay. Let's take a listen to this pad. So, as you can see, we can kind of push signal forward in a sound that's pretty wide to kind of help create a little bit of depth. You know, this particular pad, it's got a little bit too much stereo information right there in that like low mid area, so we can add a little bit of the depth knob and kind of the lower frequencies and create a little band here to maybe push that a little bit more forward or centered in the mix. So very, very cool plugin. Definitely check it out. You can, again, get it on MathewLane.com. It's Dr. MS Spatial Processor. I'm Greg with the Lion's Den Mastering. I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace out.